asked me this, what are your symptoms? No other cardiologist asked me that. What do you feel like? I said, I am fit. I do FFD stairs, 3 times a day. I run it up. I can do multiple times. I don't get tired. I do Taekwondo.
And you had already won the bronze medal by that time?
I won the bronze medal by that time. Yeah.
Bronze medal, Karnataka state, already won.
Already won.
And still having triple vessel disease.
Still having triple vessel. So
family history is there of the heart disease you were mentioning.
Both diabetes and heart. 3 of my grandparents had diabetes. One of them had to have his leg amputated. So it is a horror, from that perspective. This January in 2025, it came out that ischemia is completely gone. There is no sign of ischemia. 100% of my left ventricle is getting normal blood flow. Some point in time, I want to be able to represent the country at the Asia level at least in Taekwondo. And what I'd seen with FFD is that impossible things can happen.
Hey Raghu, cheers to Raghu 3.0. Good to see you once again, man.
Thank you, doctor. So good to be with you once again after 3 years. It's been a great journey.
So 3 years back, we recorded you regarding your diabetes reversal journey, and we were not aware, but you were on a journey of heart reversal also, and triple vessel disease reversed. That is something amazing despite hectic traveling.
Yeah.
So I think for the audience, that is going to be important to register that. First of all, diabetes was for how many years?
Diabetes was for almost 7 or 8 years detected.
Detected 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And you are free of diabetes medicines for now 4 years.
4 years, yes.
Okay. And on the way, despite how much of traveling? 10-15 days?
Yeah, couple of weeks a month.
And you also mentioned once in a quarter you go abroad.
Once in a quarter I'm outside the country for 2 weeks continuously.
So I'm sure this particular part is going to be very exciting for the audience to learn as to how does one remain sustained in diabetes reversal, and also how does one venture into something like a triple vessel disease reversal, because that's something not very commonly seen or heard of. So family history is there of the heart disease you were mentioning.
Both diabetes and heart. 3 of my grandparents had diabetes. One of them had to have his leg amputated because of gangrene. So it is a horror, from that perspective. That diabetes can be so bad, people don't know about it, whether it is eyesight or your nerves of your leg. All these things, it's a horror for me. So my dad had a heart attack when he was around 66.
Okay.
He had an angioplasty. So I kind of knew that this is all going to come my way at some point in time. So I have to be ready for it. And then I have an autoimmune disorder which is psoriasis.
Correct.
For that, I was treated with steroids. Eventually, I solved it by having Ayurveda treatment, Panchakarma, but that steroidal treatment created the metabolic disorders. So I got diabetes, I got very high levels of triglycerides, which is very dangerous. So my HbA1c reached almost 12.
Wow.
My triglycerides were around 750. So that was like the warning sign, and all the tablets.
So 750 was which year?
750 was around 2018, 2019, just before COVID.
That's a crazy number. And you must be happy, last time when we met, we recorded in November 2021, diabetes was reversed, and suddenly in December 2021, boom comes the diagnosis, triple vessel disease.
Yes.
How did that kind of make you feel or impact you?
Yeah, it at that time it was, to say it in a funny, it was very disheartening.
Yeah, diabetes reverse ho gaya.
Yes. So,
but I think for the audience, it's important to register that the heart disease doesn't develop over a year or 2 years.
Yes.
It's like a 5-10 year minimum journey, which has been brewing. But good thing is that as a part of your annual health
checkup, I found that out, and the whole journey is all linked. All these things are linked. So when I started having tablets initially for diabetes, it increased my psoriasis because I had solved it with Ayurveda and all natural things. And these chemicals again play havoc with your immunity. So then through FFD and the grade 4 protocols that we have, that got resolved. My triglycerides were sub 100.
Nice.
HbA1c has been consistently at 5.5 now. So that's the
The power of
change.
FFD.
FFD, yes. So it's completely changed that
Nice.
scenario. And then when I realized, the triglycerides were high for a good amount of time, which can affect your blockages.
So you must have got tempted into a quick angioplasty and a bypass, right? And how did you handle that?
Yeah.
Because I think for the audience that's important to understand the mental battle besides the facts. What happened at the mental level. So triple vessel disease we were at, and we were going to just look at the temptation to quickly fix it with the help of angioplasty and bypass, as your father had done it. How did you resist that temptation? What exactly happened?
It was a temptation as well as a kind of necessity situation that was created, because there are 3 vessels which supply blood to your heart, and 2 of them were at 95% blockage and multiple blockages.
Wow.
And the third one was at 80%. There was only one artery which was giving 100% blood. So that is so scary, and the doctor said, tomorrow we have to do a bypass. And somehow my wife and my parents convinced me, go and take multiple opinions. So I went to 5 cardiologists eventually.
Wow.
And
in Bangalore, all of them?
3 of them in Bangalore, 1 in Pune, 1 in Dubai. I did a remote consultation.
Interesting.
And all of them saw all my reports, and they all said you have to do either bypass or you have to do a angioplasty. And the angioplasty recommendations were anywhere between 5 to 7 stents to keep it open. Now, fortunately, one of my friends recommended his cousin, who is a cardiologist in London, to me. And he asked me some more basic things. His name is Dr. Anurag, Dr. Ashish Thakur, and he actually asked me this: what are your symptoms? No other cardiologist asked me that. What do you feel like? I said, I am fit. I do FFD stairs, 3 times a day. I run it up. I can do multiple times. I don't get tired. I do Taekwondo.
And you had already won the bronze medal by that time?
Bronze medal by that time. Yeah.
Bronze medal, Karnataka State, already won. And still having triple vessel disease.
Still having triple vessel. So he said, you don't have the symptoms. Let's not jump into an angioplasty or this. Let me recommend another test for you, which is called the stress thallium test.
Right.
Which doesn't measure the blockages, but measures how the blood is reaching different parts of your this. So that result came out like a borderline. It was called severe ischemia with 15% of the left ventricle not getting enough blood. 15%.
15%.
If it's higher, 1.5. If it is higher, if it's closer to 20, they immediately recommend invasive procedure, either a bypass or a thing. Now, there is no other this thing, right? So that changed the whole scenario for me. That hey, okay, maybe there is a way out. And what I'd seen with FFD is that impossible things can happen. I've seen with Ayurveda, what you don't believe can actually happen.
So fast forward.
Yes.
Fast forward करते हैं.
Yes.
आपको 95 और कहीं 100% ब्लॉक, और आपका इस्चेमिया सिर्फ 15% है लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल का. और अभी क्या सिचुएशन है? Because that's the interesting
thing. So with the with the movement is 15% severe ischemia moved to 15% moderate, 7% mild in the third year.
So and like this 2021 was 15%.
2022
15%.
2023 was 15 with moderate.
Okay.
And then 24 came up with 7% ischemia with mild.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I've hit the levels, I'm good. This January in 2025, it came out that ischemia is completely gone. There is no sign of ischemia. 100% of my left ventricle is getting normal blood flow. So the doctors couldn't believe it. They went and checked the tests again and they said, hey, there's something wrong here. So, but I think the journey, these are the results, these are the outcomes. But the journey is about taking those 4 pillars of FFD and then customizing them to a hard situation, right? So correct. That made a lot of difference.
So how did you modify the 4 pillars? By the way, for everyone's understanding, they're simple: diet, exercise, the mental part, emotional part, positivity part, and the medical part. How do you modify? कैसे modify किया आपने ये चारों चीजें?
So let me start with the last part, right? I don't call it medical, I call it supplements.
Supplements, yeah, sure.
So like omega-3, vitamin A, C and E, these are all, clearly known and researched that they are good for your heart. So you have to add them, you have to measure them more consistently and see where you're going with that.
So you are measuring vitamin A, C, E in your blood?
And making sure that they are not just within the range, but above the mid-range.
Oh.
Because these are essential.
Absolutely.
Right? And then as far as
I really want to appreciate your, effort. Well, this is what we see in our participants, those who take more effort in terms of understanding their own reports, then using their own brain
yes.
In terms of analyzing and then improving it, they get much better results. So I don't know of any FFDN who's measuring A, C and E.
You have to, right? So when your heart situation
That's
happens,
really nice.
then you see what you have, where you are. Be on above the mid level. Don't even be in the range at the lower level.
Okay.
And the same thing for. Let me move to the meditation part.
Mm-hmm.
There are very specific meditations aimed at soothing your heart.
Mm-hmm.
There are very timed ones, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on what your availability is. Calendarize it, put it on your schedule. Have a meditation either when you wake up or before you go to sleep, which is aimed at soothing your heart.
But before you go to the meditation, I want to hear that experience of those 4-5, garlic, which gives you like that aha feeling in the entire body, or something happens to the eyes.
Tell I want to give the best part for the last. So let me do the exercise part. So
Sure.
Right. So exercise part, my Taekwondo really helped me because Taekwondo is HIIT, high intensity interval training, because the bouts are for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The routines that you do are very short bursts of energy, and then you take rest, take deep breaths, and then go back and do it again. And that, we know it is good for the heart.
Correct.
It's great for cardiovascular health. So I did more and more of that to the level that I was not getting exhausted, but having to breathe hard and pant, right? You have to get to that level. And even the stairs, I modified it a little bit and did more of stairs in short intervals of intensive activity,
Right.
But making sure that I'm not going beyond a certain level, and that you have to gauge for yourself what it. So HIIT was introduced into my normal Taekwondo and stairs, which I used to do, and the weight training that I did. So that's the exercise part. Diet, FFD gives you the foundation, but then I modified a few things, starting from a morning, biting a few cloves of garlic, and what it does is it completely sends a vibration throughout your whole body, and it's opening up the blockages or doing something really great for you.
मतलब आंखों से पानी आना चाहिए.
पानी आना चाहिए.
ऐसे 4 या 5 अपने लहसुन के
close
and directly, no frying, nothing,
directly
feel करके खा लिया, चबा के आंसू आने दिए.
Your nose and eyes, your mucus should, the tears should come out.
Wow.
That's when you know that it's working, because it mixes with your saliva. Bite it and chew it for some time and then swallow it, and you can feel the chemical change which is happening. It's better than any other medicine that you might ever do. At least for me it worked. And then everything else.
You did this for how long?
I've been doing it since 2021 December,
Wow.
2022 January, and I still do that. It is something that
How do you manage when you're traveling in hotels and all? Do you pick up garlic over there?
I call the chef and ask them. No hotel in the world will
Not have garlic.
Not have garlic, so everybody has got it. You just need to do that, and then do it early in the morning, so that after that you don't have a problem with the people you're meeting. So then everything is fine. And the diet overall, I modified it to reduce my grains. So FFD already tells you that have a dal based breakfast. I made it a dal based breakfast and dinner.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just one step of tweaking and monitor it, test it, and see if it is working for you. And how do you feel? Do you sleep well? Do you wake up feeling energetic? Do you feel alert and aware of your work, of what you're doing with your family, everything? If you're feeling great and the test results are good, that means it's working for you. Do it for 21-30 days, measure everything. If it's fine, then continue it.
Were you tracking your insulin levels throughout?
Yes, I have been tracking it. It is. I don't recollect exactly what they were. They're in the safe range in the
Below
lower,
6?
lower, yeah, in the lower end,
because
5,
if you-
4. That
5-4, good. Because that itself will stop the further building of plaques. Because as the insulin rises, it's a growth hormone.
it's a reaction of the body. To that,
It's a growth hormone, so it creates more plaque. And the way resting heart rate, if it's like really low in your 50s or even lesser than that, it gives you a much better health. Similarly, we've seen that if your insulin levels are between 2.6 to 6, it helps. And since you are taking more dals and you are really going low on carbs in terms of cereals, dals also have carbs. I think that also has
that really helps.
helped you a lot.
I think the type of carbs in dals, they have the right,
more complex,
right,
more
sort of
fiber, more minerals, slower insulin spike, slower sugar spike, all that helps.
And of course, no milk products, completely out of my life. It's like
So what is this smoothie you're having right now?
So this is a smoothie with spinach and kale, and it has almond milk.
Wow.
But it doesn't have any milk products. It doesn't have any grains, and that's the key, right? These are triggers, and some things work for some people, but there are some general things which FFD teaches you, which is true for everything. So I've been really able to implement those things, and I think the other thing which FFD has, which is not spoken about that much, is the community. Right, the relationships and the people that I have met in my FFD journey over the last, that has completely changed. The encouragement, the cheering that happens.
Can you give some experiences, some memory? कोई याद है किसी को मिले आप और आपको सही में feel हुआ?
In my batch, there was this person from Mumbai whom I met, and it was like both of us had a cry for help. Really? At that time, that we both need help, and we started talking and we started meeting. And now for both of us, it has completely changed our health journey and sharing it.
Your buddy you had met, I also met her.
Yes, so it is completely changed, and it has become a extended family in that way, as to how things have changed. But again, and your family is really important. My wife is the one who helps me keep these diet things under control and helps me make sure that she's getting me the stuff which I'm changing, and I change my diet. I don't keep it constant. I see what is working, what is tasty, and it is possible to have healthy, tasty food. You have to figure it out as to what works and make it happen.
So let's take some. One takeaway, of course, is the garlic thing. If you're up to it, dum hai to kha ke dekhiye. If you have a heart disease, 4-5 gloves. What would be the other takeaways that you would like to give to the audience if they want to work with both? Because diabetes and heart disease actually are two sides of the same coin. So any other takeaways which you would like to highlight, like top three चीजें करनी चाहिए आपने?
See, I think the first thing is have a structured approach, and the structured approach will not happen if you do it on your own. You need gurujis, you need guidance, you need a program, and then work towards making that program a lifestyle. It has to be remaining with you, and FFD teaches you how to do that on your own. So you have the 4 coaches for your diet, exercise, meditation, and supplements, but then they teach you how you can manage it on your own.
Correct.
And learn to do that, and then run with it. The other thing is, do things, whether it's exercise also. So take on a sport, take on an activity which is very structured, and there's somebody to guide you and take you through that, whether it's weight training or whether it is martial arts like Taekwondo. Get into a structured activity which is keeping you disciplined. And it's
by the way, everyone should register that our man over here is a black belt now.
Yes.
Okay, and that'll be a nice thing to just share. What has been the journey like to reach this particular stage? Had you ever thought of it that you will become a black belt in Taekwondo at this age, 53, 54 you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit on that.
So I started it as a healthy habit to spend time with my teenagers there and here, and it turned into something totally different.
And you left them far behind and you gone ahead.
Yeah, they're into they have to study and all that, so they don't get enough time. But what the bronze medal which I got in 21 was just the beginning.
Correct.
For the next 3 years, I was able to get in my age category the gold medal at Karnataka state level. and that's unbelievable that I would be even able to. It's all linked. So Taekwondo helped me with my sugar reversal. FFD helped me with Taekwondo because Dr. Malhar, he stresses on these activities, how to become a tagda goda,
AI, athletic identity, pind kya hai, dhondo apna.
Yes, and then I think throughout the journey, I've spent time with youngsters. I've spent time with elderly people also who are even beyond me. They inspire me, and doing this interaction with them also keeps you young and at the same time balanced. And then you have this journey. While I was doing this, I realized that okay, I'm going up the ranks. And this year, I was last year, I was in 2024. I got my black belt, and that was a complete. It is experience which I still haven't completely digested. Wow. Because a black belt is a huge milestone in the life of anybody who's in martial arts, and it has to be earned. So to be able to do that at this age and make it happen, that's amazing feeling.
Yep, proud of you. Yeah, proud of your diligence. Proud of you being such a nice student. Thank you so much. Wow, this is looking interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah. Wonderful. So you're talking of structured approach.
Yes.
Second is love for some exercise format or sports format or something. Any other takeaway you want to give to the audience?
Yeah, I think your family, your friends, get them involved in this. Let them know your journey and make them part of it. My family, my parents, my extended family, they've all been cheering me through the whole FFD journey, as well as the Taekwondo journey, and then the heart reversal.
Wow.
And I think the whole thing, right? Sharing is caring, or when you share your happiness, it increases.
Correct.
When you share your difficulties, it reduces. And I was at HP last time when we met. 3 years back, I moved to another organization called Service Now, and my colleagues there also, they play a big role in cheering me and supporting me and encouraging me as I'm going through this and creating that environment, right? That's a culture which is created, which helps you enjoy this journey and feel better about it.
Raghu, what I've read long back, is something very interesting getting reminded and triggered right now is the world makes way for the person who knows where he or she is going. But because you chose your path, in terms of, okay, this is what I'll be doing in terms of my Taekwondo and food habits and my meditation and everything, the cheering automatically starts happening. Because the moment people see an inspired person who is a little ahead of the curve, they automatically start rallying around that person, cheering, because they also get inspiration.
Yeah,
they also get something out of it. So I think you're a living example of be the change.
Yeah, and so many people in FFD and otherwise whom I have whom I have worked with, whom I've seen, who have inspired me, and if I can even do a small percentage of that.
No, it's going to be not small percentage. I mean, I hope your message reaches
more people,
more and more people, and they get inspired that it's possible. It's possible to even kind of reverse a difficult disease like a triple vessel disease, which is very, very challenging. Great. So towards the last part, and then we need to chomp the food.
Yes.
Is that what will be the next set of goals that you're looking at?
So I think the next set of goals, at some point in time, I want to be able to represent the country at the Asia level at least in Taekwondo. I hope that day comes. And from a health perspective, I'm ready for my next challenge. I don't know what that is going to be, but I never give up and just go after it. Eventually, your family, your friends, your work, everything is not going to be possible to enjoy if your health is not there.
Correct.
I remember this old TV program which used to come saying "Jaan hai to jahan hai," and you can really feel that.
Correct.
Right? That without that, everything else is futile.
Very true.
So you fix your health, everything else will get fixed.
So you're feeling that right now.
Yes.
Jaan hai to jahan hai. And maybe 2020, 2021, when you began, you were not feeling that.
I was definitely disillusioned on what's going to happen.
Yeah, because your stuff is like quite a few things, diabetes, heart disease, and the psoriasis is like the thing to kind of take care of and manage that, because that's like an irritant all the time on the mind.
It is.
That, on the skin, there are some eruptions and all that. And you had one interesting share of something around the heart patch which got dissolved. And that's something interesting. I think we should leave everyone with that visual of what has actually happened.
So psoriasis in Ayurveda, I did the Panchakarma and all that, and it talks about how toxins inside your body affect the skin outside.
Correct.
So if you have problems with your guts, you'll see problems with your leg. If you have problems with your upper respiratory tract and your windpipe, you'll see problems on your scalp.
Correct.
So obviously there is a connection between what's happening inside and what you see on the skin. So in my case, I had this patch in the center of my chest, which had never gone. All my Panchakarma, everything, it just remained there. And I used to think everything is okay. Why is that not going? Around 3 months before I did my January 2025 test for my heart blockage, it just started slowly shrinking, and it just disappeared in January, which clearly indicates that one, there is a connection between what is inside and what is outside shown on your skin. And the second is that our ancient wisdom of Ayurveda is so great that we still haven't realized it.
Oh yes.
And with the protocols that systems like FFD are adding into that, I think we are at a turning point in the medical history itself.
Yes.
In terms of how we can bring back a lot of our wisdom, add in the new elements that FFD and such organizations are bringing in, and change the world for better. Right.
Good. So it is. May this interview help many more get inspired, and may you represent India in the Asia championship and more, and live 100 years.
Thank you, sir.
And we keep meeting and
Thank you, sir.
keep inspiring and learning from each other.
Thanks.
So let's get on with the food now.
That's a lot. I eat half of this.
We'll manage some more. Thank you.
Can I have another bowl to just take what I need? I know.
Sure.